more than halfway through the year 2022, and a lot's happened. In particular, phenomenal records have been set, which can remain unbeaten forever. This is Infinity, and in this episode, I'll tell you about the Guinness Records of 2022 that no one can break. Let's go! Swimming under the ice. Holding your breath, even under normal water, is a serious challenge, especially if we're talking about a long distance. But what about swimming under the ice? Once in icy water, many people can barely breathe, let alone swim anywhere. All the cooler is the incredible record of Amber Fillery from South Africa. This year, she set an unreal record, swimming 295 feet under an icy lake without flippers or a wetsuit. Actually, it'd be more accurate to say she didn't set the record, she broke her own. Ice water is Amber's true element. In 2020, she set a record by swimming 230 feet under the ice. 65 feet in just 2 years is tremendous progress. Given Fillery's pace, I don't think this record will be beaten by anyone. Unless, of course, Amber would update her own record, surprising us with an even more incredible distance. By the way, she holds another incredible record for the longest walk underwater while holding her breath. She managed to walk almost 360 feet underwater. By the way, Amber set the record for ice freediving in Norway. As for Norway, there are many record holders in this country, and some of them amaze with their crazy records. One of the most recent records is the achievement of the Norwegian Ken Storns. He set a new record in amateur diving competitions with the telling name Death Diving. He jumped from a height of 102 feet. The previous record was 88.5 feet, so the progress is evident. The footage shows exactly how the jump happens. Storms jumps off the cliff and flies down in a horizontal position, arms and legs outstretched to the sides. It's only at the very last moment that he tucks himself up, gets into an upright position, and enters the water. It's so fast that you can barely see it on the video. This unusual style of jumping is a prerequisite of the death diving. At the same time, this style is incredibly dangerous because the speed of entering the water is about 62 miles per hour, and the fall in the water from 98 feet is tantamount to falling to the ground. One wrong move and the thrill seeker is threatened with injury or even death. Pull-ups and burpees. I think many of you know about the exercise called the burpee. It's one of the most energy-consuming and exhausting exercises. No wonder so many people hate it. But not American Sean Dobbs. He doesn't just do burpees, he mixes it with pull-ups. Because of this mix, as well as his phenomenal stamina, Sean recently set a record that hardly anyone can break. He does pull-ups, jumps off the bar, does an incomplete burpee, and then pulls up again, and so on loop. Many people wouldn't be able to do 10 reps, but Sean did 573 of these hellish reps. It took him just over an hour. As part of the record-setting process, he could rest as much as he wanted between reps, but that doesn't mean that anyone could do a few hundred of these reps. This year's Fresh Records includes the participation of not only people but also cars, and they too are not likely to be broken. So a few months ago, the news appeared that the famous super limousine, the American Dream, was restored and lengthened even more. Now its length is 100.1 feet. Thus, the American Dream broke its own record. This car was lengthened gradually over many years. The limousine was designed in 1986, and already then it got into the Guinness Book of World Records as the longest car in the world. Originally, the length of the vehicle, equipped with 26 wheels and 2 V8 engines, was 59.9 feet. The car accommodates 75 people and had a jacuzzi, mini golf course, helipad, and diving pool. Subsequently, its length was increased to 100 feet. Subsequently, the car was abandoned and fell into disrepair. Fortunately, the record breaker was not forgotten forever. The American Dream was restored and became even longer. In March this year, the limousine broke its own record and was again entered into the Guinness Book of World Records as the longest car in the world. I don't think any other limousines could ever surpass the American Dream. Let's get back to people. Recently, there have been new record breakers among them. One of them is Juan Vicente Perez Mora. This year, the Guinness Book of World Records officially recognized him as the oldest man alive today. On May 27th, Juan turned 113 years. Not much is known about the life of the long-lived record holder. For example, it's known that he worked on a farm, became a father of 11 children, and now he feels quite well for his venerable age. Juan's closest living pursuer is Malaysian Seliman Bandang, who is now 112 years old. Anything can go wrong at that age, so it's possible that Juan's pursuers will not outlive him. It's not just this year that records have been set that will be difficult or impossible to break. The Guinness Book of World Records has been updated for many years, and there are many other incredible accomplishments to be found. Stay tuned for the most unusual Guinness World Records and usual world records that will impress you. Usually, surfers ride not the biggest waves, which are 10 to 20 feet high. Some are luckier than others and ride waves which are 32 feet high. So far, no one's been able to beat Sebastian Stüttner's record. A couple of years ago, this German surfer set an unreal record, riding an 85-foot high wave. It's almost the height of a 9-story building. Often, such waves occur in the open sea and are called rogue waves. But Sebastian rode the water giant near the coast of the Portuguese city of Nazaré. Never before and never later has a man ridden a higher wave. With his achievement, Sebastian broke the previous record of Brazilian Rodrigo Coxa, who in 2017 rode a wave of 80 feet. By the way, the Brazilian also set a record in Nazaré, Portugal, where every fall is the season of giant waves. Of course, Stüttner's record can be broken, but it may not happen very soon. After all, you need not only to find the right moment and ride the giant wave, but also ride it successfully and not fall down. The Guinness Book of World Records is famous not only for incredible but also for rather strange records. Someone holds a chainsaw on their forehead. Someone runs a marathon pushing a baby carriage with their children along the distance. And someone climbs stairs carrying an unusual weight on their head. Another person. Such a strange but spectacular record was recently set by the brothers Giang Quoc Co and Giang Quoc Nguyen from Vietnam. The point's simple. One brother stands with his hand down on the head of the other brother, who's climbing stairs. The goal is to get to the top without falling and balancing all the time. Everything's clear in words, but in practice, it seems almost an impossible task. You need maximum coordination of the two participants, as well as incredible stamina and strength. But the Giang Quoc brothers do it just fine. The Giang Quoc brothers can safely be called the masters of balance. There are not many people in the world who know more about balance than the Vietnamese people. But a Chinese man named Shen Xiaoxi is at least a worthy opponent for the brothers. He doesn't carry anyone on his head, but he builds incredible towers out of bowling balls. We all know that putting one ball on top of another is an extremely difficult task because these objects are spherical, and finding their center of gravity is not easy. But for Xiaoxi, 2 balls is nothing. He builds vertical towers out of many spheres. A few years ago, he built a tower of 10 bowling balls, taking over 2 hours. Shen then decided to add another ball, but the 11th was too many and the tower collapsed. But even 10 was enough to enter the Guinness Book of World Records, from where it will now be very difficult to oust him. The next unusual record was set by British racer Guy Martin. And no, he didn't go the fastest on any speeding car or motorcycle. He did it on a farm tractor. Yeah, there are records like that. About 3 years ago, Martin tested an upgraded JCB fast-track tractor at the Yorkshire Airfield in Elvington. The racer managed to accelerate the tractor to an unreal 149 miles per hour. However, the Guinness Book of World Records had a lower figure, 135.2 miles per hour, because the average speed of the 2 races was taken into account. The specialist equipped the cabin with a safety cage. In addition, the developers provided a special parachute that could stop the multi-ton tractor if something went wrong. The Guinness Book of World Records isn't just about skills. Sometimes an unusual appearance is enough. This is confirmed by James Goss, the Briton with the largest number of flesh tunnels in his body. James decided to go beyond the usual piercing, so he began doing holes in himself at an incredible rate. As a result, he accumulated as many as 14 of them, 3 more than the previous record holder. Possible that James' record won't be broken soon, because not everyone will dare to do such a body transformation. James has 2 large flesh tunnels in his nostrils, 1 in the bridge of his nose, 3 above his upper lip, 4 above his lower lip, 2 in his cheeks, and 2 in the corners of his mouth. Their diameter varies. Some are only 0.1 inches long, and some are stretched out to almost 0.7 inches. Do you think anyone can break such a crazy and weird record? Share your thoughts in the comments and keep watching to see the most unexpected record of the whole episode. I bet you didn't know that the Guinness Book of World Records has the record for the number of tennis balls held in your mouth at one time. Okay, maybe some of you guessed about that record because simply everything's in the Guinness Book of World Records. But you certainly didn't know that the record was held by a dog. That's exactly right. Originally, the record was set in 2003, but 2 years ago, a 6-year-old golden retriever from New York City named Finley broke it. The dog easily holds 6 balls in its mouth. According to Finley's owners, they noticed his superpowers when he was 2 years old when he joined them for a walk, wagging his tail cheerfully and holding 4 tennis balls in his mouth. Since then, the dog was actively training and able to make history. Like a real star, Finley even has social media accounts where tens of thousands of followers follow his tennis ball workouts and unusual walks. That's all, guys. Which record impressed you the most? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you later.